Vecna has come from the upside down, and my boy has brought with him 8 million Demogorgons to invade the Earth. They currently surround the access portal to the Upside Down, and they're going to be invading a military base that currently surrounds it. The base is being guarded by CIA agents, US Army Rangers, marksmen, Marines, Grenadiers, and pretty much every soldier in the radius that the US military could get their hands on. They fast deployed, bringing out Sea Whizzes, Apache helicopters, M1 Abrams tanks, and even 10 nuclear missile systems to try and hold this base from Vecna and his 8 million Demogorgons. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right on into this thing. Here is Vecna charging forward, and look at that. Sea Whiz is arcing fire straight into him as he is the first unit farthest up on the battlefield, so the Sea Whizzes are just trying to absolutely tear him apart. But let me tell you right now, this is an extremely powerful unit, and he will not be going down easily. It is going to take so much fire to take out Vecna. But here come the Demogorgons behind him, charging forward, unencumbered by as much Sea Whiz fire, since the Sea Whizzes are concentrating on just him right now. And of course, the CIA black site agents are also firing away, trying to start to take down some of these Demogorgons while the heavier weapons take on Vecna. If you guys do enjoy this video, please be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you have not already, and comment down below. I figured in honor of Stranger Things releasing today, the final season of Stranger Things, let's do a crazy monster battle from Stranger Things. We are keeping an eye on Vecna here because there's a very good chance we completely lose sight of him once he gets actually involved in the battle. And I believe he's up there. Yes, he is. And he is starting to destroy some CIA black site soldiers. However, the constant fire against him is absolutely insane. Now, let me tell you right now, he has 1 billion health. He is one of the strongest units we have ever seen in Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator 2. And right now, the fire pouring in on him is absolutely obscene. Look at this. Holy cow. Meanwhile, the rest of the Demogorgons are having a much easier time taking out some of these CIA black site troopers because they're not getting concentrated on at all by the heavier US Army weapons. So Vecna might not really be doing too much, and these black site troopers are in fact on free move mode, so they will roam around as they see fit. Right now they are retreating, and I don't blame them. There's creepy, scary, upside down monsters charging them. However, right now, it doesn't seem to matter too much if they're backing up because there's a massive wall right there that they'll run straight into. Okay, so Vecna's still chilling over that way. All along the wall, we have the rest of the Demogorgons charging on forward, all 8 million of them, and they are making some very, very good progress, especially in the areas where there are no heavy weaponries firing at them. We also will probably have them completely surrounding the wall. Sadly, a few of these heavy assault units ended up stranded on the opposite side of the wall, so these poor guys are just kind of stuck out there. We've also got US Army marksmen up top here firing their DMRs against the enemy below. We have the Apache helicopters, which should fire HE missile shots at the enemy. Right now, they're just kind of vibing. I think they can't hit them right now. And of course, the M1 Abrams tanks, which will fire as well once the enemy comes into range. We've got more US Army soldiers down here with honey badgers ready to defend the interior. Of course, more variants of M4 troopers and things like that back here as well. There's a good amount of variety for the US Army. Vecna is still over here. You can actually see him right there getting absolutely shot to oblivion, but he is still alive, coming through, and he is getting kills on these US Army soldiers now. Woo! Zooey mama. We are actually down to 260,000 US Army soldiers. Already 100,000 of them dead. Of course, these are some of the weaker lines. The more strong lines will be the actual interior of the fortress once they get their choke points going, baby. And we are down to 7.89 million Demogorgons left. So It's a lot. It's a lot. I did try to get the Demodogs going in this battle as well. However, they kept on glitching, so I was unable to get them in the battle, sadly. Maybe in the future, if someone can figure out that mod or whatever, then that'll be good. But they just kept glitching and crashing the game for some reason, so I don't know what's up with that. But hey, I'm glad to have these creepy beasties out here. It is kind of funny how, like, the very first season, just one of these was, like, the most terrifying thing ever, and then it wasn't anymore. I do have to say, Season 1 of Stranger Things is, like, peak television. So unbelievably good. Like, it's unreal how good that show was. And then the other seasons, it just slowly got kind of like more and more okay, you know, just kind of like, it's all right now. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but that's kind of how I feel about Stranger Things. Is it started just so incredibly well, and then it just couldn't hold on to that quality that it had, you know, sort of set the standard for, and just, you know, slowly I kind of lost interest for it. But it's still a good show. I don't want to say it's like a bad show now, far from it, but it's certainly not a great show. Where is this water coming from? Why is this happening on Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator 2 sometimes now? This is a waterless level. I think this is a map actually created by Chaotic Pinky, who is another YouTuber doing, I'm pretty sure, exclusively Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator 2? I'm not entirely sure. I haven't checked on his channel in a while, but I think this is one of his maps. Really cool map. I don't know where the water's coming from. There's none of it over here. It's just over in this little corner. There's some water. Oh, it's gone now. Oh, no, it's back. It's right there. Who knows? Either way, the exterior defenses here for the U.S. military is getting destroyed. They are starting to hold the line in the very front here. You can see there's a very definitive line right there down the middle. And hopefully that pushes very, very slowly, and we start to see body piles forming on the battlefield, or else we could be cooked here. There's still so many Demogorgons coming forward. I have absolutely no clue where the heck Vecna is. Oh, God. What is this? They're doing the jitterbug. Bro, what? Okay, they're still pushing forward over here. But the rest of these guys are having a little bit of a problem. We're bugging. We're absolutely bugging. Oh, Lord. That's not good. Well, hopefully that fixes. I don't know exactly what is happening over there. These guys are normal. Oh, are they back to normal? It's just these guys right here that are bugging. That's super odd. Hold on, let me go ahead and just go attack, boys. Okay, they don't want to. Huh. Weird. That's quite concerning. Okay, so a lot of the Demogorgons are just bugged, which sucks. They haven't even finished devouring these guys. What the heck? There's devouring to be done. Is it the map or the mod? Because this is a different bug than what I ran into with the Demodogs. So I don't know. We are seeing some of that M1A2 Abrams fire coming in, and potentially some of that Apache fire too. The Apaches are flying through the sky all weird. Okay. Very bizarre. Why don't we do a small time lapse and see if it fixes itself? If not, we could try and fix it. Oh man, these dudes are completely bugged. Sad. Okay. It might be the map? Since they kind of stopped walking at the very stairs there. So let's try the same setup on a different map, I guess. Alright guys, we got a new map. Hopefully this one is better, and the problem was the map, not the Demogorgons, or else I will be very sad. We have 7 million Demogorgons now, because this map is a little bit more intensive on the system because of the water. So we have to have slightly less soldiers. But still a very, very defendable map. This is going to be 3 bridge points. We've done this map before with Apache helicopters, of course, more U.S. Army troopers. all the same units as before, but a little bit more spread out this time, so it's not going to be the exact same. It's not going to be as condensed and as powerful of a punch immediately, but also there's a lot more room between them and the Demogorgons and Vecna, so maybe that will help. Also, I will say, oh, there's bodies flying through the air. Did one of the nuclear missile systems go off? Excuse me? I was just trying to look over here. This is the least defended of the areas, I will say, but they do have some of the better defenses, like the marksmen and the sea whizzes, so it might be lighter defended over there, but more powerful units. Looks like our black site troopers are moving out, and yes, the explosions of soldiers through the air is from the nuclear missile system, so that is pretty cool to see right there. I wonder if Vecna exploded, because he was on the front lines over this way. I don't see him right now, but I highly doubt he dies from one nuke, considering he has like 1 billion health. Literally 1 billion. So I think he's probably still alive somewhere. Oh, there's another nuke. He might just be like in the water or something right now, trying to swim his way up. I'm not entirely sure. Hopefully we do find him at some point, but the nukes are doing some serious damage to the Demogorgons right now. Demogorgons already at 80 kills. Oh, huge numbers, boys, huge numbers. But 50,000 of them have died at this point. Here we go, Black Site CIA troopers at the front lines, holding them off with their SMGs. More of them coming forward. Knock on wood that we do not have any more of those glitches going on, but it doesn't seem to be happening right now. Over this way, the Sea Whizzes are spamming out that fire against these boyos. Look at that. Absolutely glorious. And these Demogorgons are not weak in the slightest. Let's see, actually. Yeah, 7,500 health a pop, so these things are extremely, extremely powerful melee units in terms of Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator 2 as a whole, because typically a UEBS 2 unit is, you know, looking at maybe 1,000 health on average for a modded melee unit, and then maybe like 250 for a vanilla melee unit. So these guys are pretty darn powerful. They're coming forward over here and smooshing against each other as they push the CIA Black Site units over here on this bridge. Let's check out the rightmost bridge over here where we have the M1A2 Abrams defending. There's pretty much one major vehicle for each of the bridges. So hopefully that distribution can prevent these guys from coming on in and destroying everyone. And then we've actually got the Russians over here. Yes, AK soldiers. We've added to the battlefield. Well, when humanity's in trouble... Oh, I did not mean to put that marker down. Can't really get rid of it. I'll just throw one way up there. Doesn't do anything. When the world is in trouble, the US and the USSR bands together. Because this is in the 80s, right? So, USSR, at this point, also might not have all of these vehicles available. I'm just now realizing, but don't think about it too much. Don't think about it too much. All right, we've still got constant fighting on all fronts right now. Things still seem to be going okay lag-wise. It's not too bad. Choke point over here holding. Oh, there's a lot of spam fire down here. I wonder if Vecna's around here or if this is purely just for the Demogorgons charging these marksmen. Not sure. Not totally sure, but they do seem to be doing a little bit of damage. Why don't we time-lapse this bridge for a little bit here and check it out? Okay, it seems like it was the map before that caused the crash, because the Demogorgons are all coming forward still right now. Our Sea Whizzes and Marksmen are still holding out, though losses are starting to mount around this area. We've got some decent losses around here that are getting rough. Sea Whizzes are, though, holding the line, I think, for the majority of this. And we do have machine gunners up here that are assisting, though. Again, I think those Sea Whizzes are the real heroes down there. We've got more Black Site CIA troopers around here, all conglomerating because they are still on guard mode around these Demogorgons over this way. My best guess is Vecna is still alive, unless like the nuke does 1 billion damage just straight up, but I kind of doubt that. We just don't really know where he's at. We do have some crossing through the water here and flanking but not totally sure if they're going to be doing all that much right now. I mean, it's just a few here and there, but still not the greatest. On the other side here, we have the Russian representatives coming forward to assist, and the M1A2 Abrams still getting some very, very decent kills and supporting them. This area seems to be doing a lot better than the other area, which is really good for us in total, I would say. Ooh, those are those big nukes going off. Love to see that. That is absolutely huge. And yeah, these guys are still moving forward, so we're looking in business here. Why don't we go ahead and time-lapse the middle bridge this time, so we can see nukes going off and sort of the waves of CIA black site troopers moving about. Okay, so it looks like the bridge has mostly fallen here. Demogorgons are coming forward pretty heavily, and the CIA black site units are now retreating backwards from that frontline bridge. We do still have constant nukes going off. Yes! Love to see that. And the other bridges are still doing quite well. A little bit eaten away at, but not horribly, and it's not the end of the world because we do still have a very healthy block of DMR soldiers back here that will prevent those other bridges from getting flanked by the Demogorgons, although we do still have some of them crossing through the water over here and on the other side and being able to attack the corners of these areas, so we do have some flanking going on. It's not a perfect system, but I will say we're doing pretty well. 1.27 million Demogorgons dead on the battlefield as of right now. 75,000 U.S. Army soldiers dead on the battlefield right now, with 273,000 remaining. 5.5 million Demogorgons remaining. Why don't we go ahead and watch this bridge, since it's the final bridge we have not time-lapsed yet, and we can see the M1 Abrams springing into action. Alright, so this bridge is actually kind of coming down now, as it seems like the front lines got too many flankers on this side, got wiped out, and now the Abrams are under attack. But the Abrams have so much health that I think they should be okay for quite a while without going down fully. And then there is their backup unit up here as well, some M249 troopers who should be able to spam some serious fire. Hey, they're getting some nuke help as well. Love that! Gorgeous, gorgeous. Middle still about the same as we last left it, and the far left side also just about the same as we last left it right now. Why don't we go ahead and do a full-on... Is this too far away? Might be too far to do a full time-lapse like that, so why don't we go ahead and watch some of these Apache helicopters and watch the nukes coming in, and just watch the middle bridge for a while, because that's a fun one. Alright, the middle is holding very strong after about a 15-minute time-lapse there. We can see the nukes still deploying on all sides. It's really nice that those nuclear missile systems are firing on each of the different bridges to help them out. That is really good. We're almost completely out of CIA agents to stop the Demogorgons. Vecna, I have absolutely zero clue where my boy is. He very well could be dead. It's unlikely, but he could be. If we see like one very concentrated fire, that's probably on him if he is still alive, or maybe the nukes just wiped him out or threw him off the map. That's also very possible. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with our boy. But this bridge over here, definitely having a little bit more trouble now. The M1 Abrams are pretty pushed back. They're not doing great. How about the last one over this way with the Sea-Whizzes? I'm not seeing any Sea-Whiz fire, so yep, they're dead. Rip the dream, and we do have Demogorgons coming in the flanks of these machine gunners over here and starting to rip these guys to shreds. So, also not very good. All around a bad time for these guys on this flank. And they're even getting flanked over here from guys going all the way around the corner there. That's crazy. Now they are backed up in the castle itself. by some M4 soldiers over this way, so maybe they'll start holding a little bit better with those guys firing in spades, but right now this bridge is looking very, very worse for wear without their Sea Whiz fire. Why don't we watch it? Oh no! The glitching is happening again. This is not good. But it is not happening everywhere. It seems like everywhere but there, it's not happening, which is good. So, at least there's that. You know, the battle is going normally everywhere else except that one corner. I'm cool with that. As long as all the other areas are still fighting, I think we've still got ourselves a battle, and I think that still works perfectly fine. We are down to 3.1 million Demogorgons left, meaning over half have died at this point, and 201,000 remaining U.S. Army soldiers who have more than half because they had 360,000 troops. So actually, we're looking pretty good right now for the U.S. military. They're still taking some losses, specifically in these second tiers. They're starting to really take losses, so let's watch this. And there we go, this lineup is now dead. And actually, the main castle defenses are starting to get hit here. This is our honey badger units that are in the very back here, most importantly guarding the nuclear missile systems over this way. Of course, there are still levels ahead of them still alive, like these DMR troopers over this way, so there is that. Please no glitching. Okay, there's no glitching going on over here. Excellent. Is it still happening over this way? Yes. And I really don't know why. They like get locked in over here and then glitch. Huh. Well, we'll redirect all these guys this way. How about that? How are the Abrams doing? They're doing fine. Look at this. These guys are all still alive, all still fighting. Beautiful, beautiful. And these guys behind them also all still alive. But we are at 192,000 remaining U.S. Army soldiers and 2.7 million remaining Demogorgons. Let's watch overhead. Alright guys, another 20 minutes have gone by. We're down to 2.2 million Demogorgons, 173,000 U.S. Army soldiers, so it does seem like the U.S. Army probably will win this thing. I don't know how much these glitching ones over here is honestly affecting the outcome, because obviously these guys would come through here and destroy a lot of these fellas, but instead only 2 bridges are actively seeing resistance. Either way, I'm going to go ahead and just let this ride for a bit to save some storage space, but we'll be back to check in on it. Alright boys, it's been about 30 minutes since we just sort of let this start running. We're at 1.5 million remaining Demogorgons, 152,000 remaining U.S. Army soldiers. So, the U.S. Army has taken about half of their total losses here. That's not great. Uh-oh. No! More glitches are occurring over here. A smaller group, though. A much smaller group, so that's not too bad. And then these guys are all still good. Yeah, it's weird. And this big group here. But other than that, everyone else is moving. I really do kind of wonder, though, like, how impactful would it be if all these Demogorgons were also charging these guys? Like, would that be a total game changer or not? I don't know. Maybe their connection with Vecna was severed or whatever. I don't remember how it works, I'll be honest. I gotta do some rewatching of Stranger Things at this point. But yeah, I think all the Abrams are dead now. That looks about right. These guys up here are holding. Who are these guys? Oh, these are more machine gunners. Yeah, we have a lot of LMGs on the battlefield, which is pretty sweet. I do like the looks of these LMGs. They look very, very cool. They're U.S. Marines right there. Nice. Why don't we watch this little corner? Why not? Well, everyone in frame here is dead, but just out of frame, there's still a small corner of these guys left alive. The stalling Demogorgons are a little bit thicker over here, but all of this bridge is now defeated. We only have 500,000 Demogorgons left in general. Over this way, these guys are still coming forward. Oh, sorry, 800,000. I read the number wrong. My recording overlay is slightly over it. Over here, oh, these guys are all glitched. Why, though? Go! Oh, there we go. Those guys are going. Will that work with these guys? Go! Go! Forward! Move! Come on, boyos. Let's all move. Please. Okay, well, they're moving at the very least, which is good. I think that's where, like, almost all of the 500,000 remaining are at. There's a few over this way, but yeah, let's just make sure all of them are schmoving and moving, and that's pretty much it. 500,000 versus 143,000 U.S. Army soldiers from their starting 360,000. Let's watch the ramparts defending, because most of them are going to be coming up this way. Well, the Demogorgons actually do take over the rampart here, and they're taking over this rampart over here too. They're getting like a reinvigorated end to this battle. 590,000 of them remain, and they're actually tearing through a lot of these back lines of the Honey Badger U.S. Army troops, which is pretty crazy. There's 110,000 U.S. Army troops left, and they're getting heavy flanked on the flank here, which could result in the nuclear missile systems over this way getting blown up as well. We do still have a lot of Demogorgons coming through the side here and attacking these guys. There's a lot of U.S. Army soldiers over here too, though, so that's a good thing. And over here. Pretty crazy how this is happening at the very last few seconds of the battle. Love an underdog story here, but let's watch them coming through the back lines of the castle fortress here. Okay, we're down to 450,000 Demogorgons. They've sort of slowed down their attack over here. Not as many coming through. Up front here, though, seems like still quite a number coming through. A lot more glitching going on with a lot of them back here, but there's still some funneling to the front lines, I guess. I'm just going to let it ride for a while because it is just kind of glitching a lot, and it's going to take a while. We're at 103,000 remaining U.S. Army soldiers. 420,000 Demogorgons. Let's let it ride. Alright guys, we're at 102,000 U.S. Army soldiers left alive and 280,000 Demogorgons left alive. I let it run for like an hour or two, and it's just such a trickle in now because so many of them are glitched over here. So why don't we go ahead and do the final solution. Drop the nuke on the Demogorgons here and destroy them, saving the U.S. Army. Alright guys, that's going to be about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below if you'd like to see some more in the future. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to click that subscribe button for more content, and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be alerted to whenever I live stream or upload. Thanks so much.